Hi, ladies. I am live. Hello, Janice. Oh, Mara, you both have thunderstorm warnings. All right. Be safe, most of all. Be safe out there. I'm going to head over to YouTube so I can see things the way you guys see things. Give me just a minute to get over there. And any minute now, I will get up and close my door. I'm going to try the leany thing. Oof. Ooh, I got it most of the way closed. Good for me. It's a ruler trick. Okay, I want to go to my channel. Other than that, I hope you ladies are having a lovely Monday. First day of the week. Least favorite day of the week for many people. So, crazy stuff. All right, I'm on my channel. Ooh, look at me. Okay. In my own live, and I'm going to have to mute because I was watching a video earlier. There we go. And come on, chat box. Rebecca, Krabby's in the house. Carla. Hey, Mary, welcome. Mary Marlowe was new with us this past live sale. So I hope your Mondays were, pretty good. Okay, looks like I need to put it on live chat instead of top chat. There we go. So have a little case prepared. We'll get into it in a minute. I am looking at a child serial killer. A little something different from what Els was covering when she was with us before. We'll see how it goes. This is new for me. It'll be weird, but I think I can do it. So last week we were working on this page and this page. And this one's all done now, I think. I think we've got it to where it needs to be. So we've got, this is our serial killer that we murdered because he killed this little girl in New Mexico. I don't want to knock the earring off the guy, so I got to ease it in there. And I picked this page. The reason I put this page on here was I feel like this is actually concert footage, but I thought it's great because it's got the red tint to it. Maybe it's the depths of hell, people reaching out to grab onto him as he goes as after he's murdered. Weather patterns are changing, right? Things aren't going the way they always do. So that's why I put this paper in here originally. And I think this is a good pick for our serial killer and victim. So, and then we finished this one in the abandoned building. That's Irma, who was embezzling from a retirement home. So she had to go. She looks like a nice lady, right? She's not a nice lady. Yeah, well, a hand down. They aren't going up, those ones. 101. Wow, we only have had one 100 day here so far. What do I do with my phone? Oh, I know where it is. Let me see what the high was today, so we can share weather notes, you guys. So, for Mary who hasn't seen it, this is our chunky girl, our serial killer book. The cover's a work in progress. We have stuff to add to it that I wanted to wait till the end because we still have to work in it. And this book is a thick, chunky girl. Let me get live on my own live. I'm not live on my own live. Oh. And the camera's crooked again. Maury lives in the area that's 2 inches from the sun. So that's and she's pretty full, but we're going to be doing a version 2.0, a ring bound one. We have learned our lesson from this one. There's a lot of unfinished pages in here. I'll do a little flip through here in a second. I just wanted to look at the weather. Normally we have comparable temperatures, Mari, but not lately. Where's my weather? Oh, there it is. It's currently 94. Let's see what it looks like today. If it'll tell me what the high was. 96 today. Let's see what the extended. Oh, there we're looking at Thursday, 100 degrees. But still 75 at night. It's when it's 102 on Friday. Ooh. We're going to get our first 100 plus day maybe coming up. But still in the 70s at night. It's when it's over 100 during the day and in the high 90s at night when you don't get any relief here. Hey, Adria, how you doing? So yeah, that's where. So you were hotter than us today. I was outside just a little while ago. This page still needs some work. Let's see if we can. Trying to get it to where we can kind of see both sides. I used to live in Phoenix, in the Phoenix Scottsdale area. And there's a little card in here. I like this color, but then we took some notes on the back about petechia. And this is an image transfer of a walking labyrinth. That one's all done. This one's still a work in progress. Hey, lovely. How you doing, Miss Jacqueline? Hope you're having a great day. And this was our one mass murder one where they got a whole bunch of people. Family history and all that. Let's see. Still got a little work to do here. I think this card isn't full. But I feel like this is kind of an 80s era with the workouts and stuff. So this page is done. We've got a little pocket here. This one is recently done. 2 out camping in New Mexico murders. And we used some very grisly images from our body of evidence book there. And then on this page, we're going to find a victim for each phase of the moon with a little blurby. Thanks, Jacqueline. Happy to be here instead of replay. Well, yay. I appreciate when you guys watch the replays, but I know lives are the best, right? So there are a whole bunch of cards that I need to finish in here. Each side has, so they need some keepsakes. And maybe a little additional information. And then there's a couple on the other side. I just have to remember to get in there and get the, whatever it is, it needs to be fairly flat because this book is so chunky already. Then we've got our hidden pocket in here where we put another pocket that I sewed together really badly, which has a little card in it, which has a little thing in it. So she was killed by him, and she was a decent social worker. So we had to kill him. And then there's a little bit more on the back. And that goes in our little hidey pocket right here. Ta-da! This side, it doesn't have anything yet. And this side's just, I can't quite get a handle on that page. Oh, so many pockets. And I can't stop myself. Maybe I should make this into a pocket, is my favorite saying, apparently. I think this doesn't have anything on it. I haven't picked my victim for this yet. And I never liked this one. I've been trying to work with it. We got to cover that up. And then these are we're coming up on some of our most flippy pages. That's a pretty good, nice layered one. And it goes with this part on the back here. That still needs a little information. I don't just work on one page and then move on. I'm like all over the place in the book. There's our eyeball page. And this is we did our crazy writing. Everything is a pocket. I feel like this whole journal is pockets. I haven't taken that one out of there in a while. Okay, so here we start with all our, we got to flip up here. And then over here, another pocket. And this one's not quite done. There's one of ours. And that's one. And then we've got this tag that still needs some work. We've got a flippy here. We had some vintage postcards that were sent in. I think, oh gosh, Alicia. She sent me maps and postcards, and I have used quite a few of them. So we got that. There, it needs a little keepsake on the back there, I think. And there's our mouth collage, which is a little more disturbing than the eye collage, I think. The Pocketeer. I'm waiting until one day it already stands up by itself, right, guys? I mean, look. And this is just without squeezing. That's about where it sits. And we've got lots of stuff poking out and whatnot. Okay, back to the mouths. So we're going to have a pocket here with this tag in it. And then here's another spot with a bunch of flippy foldy things. So we got a flippy, an uppy. This was one of our more involved stories. And then we go over here and we got more. There's a flippy and a flippy. And that's dangly. And then we did this really nice washed out page. I really like this one a lot. That one's not complete. We just got a little start on it. With our vintage eyeballs from an ad that Carla sent. Love it. This still needs a world population quote. You think I have got on it by now. Pictures from the Bodies of Evidence book. This is for killings in an orchard where the bodies are buried under the trees. And then we were working on this one last time. I've got a little picture right here of a Airstream that I'd like to, we got this one, but I think I want to add an extra. Oh, and I did. I made that into a pocket. Oh my God, you guys let me make another pocket. the Inception, but with pockets. But wait, there's more. It's eyeball saved on your. It was a really fun. So I think I want to add a second Airstream. You can't be going around. You don't want to have too many descriptions of the same thing. So I think we might add this on here. So I'm going to just kind of stuff it right there. And then we did this one just recently. I was in love with these pom-pom clips I got at the dollar store. Bobby pins. So these ones are a little more recent. She needs some information about why she's dead. And then I want to put a couple of smaller pictures, I think, because we went to all these places stalking her, but we probably killed other people while we were there. Our theory here, social influencer gone wrong. Just unfinished business. Here's another flippy one. This needs keepsakes. And then it flips over here. And we've got a little pocket with some more. These are older from the 80s yearbooks. And that one's a photo. And we put little calendars. And we've got dates circled and stuff. And this is from Standard Photo Service Box 188 in Minneapolis. Okay. So again, we need a little bit of keepsakes and some more information over here. These are our Waffle House murders. Which was fun. And then we're back here. So that's the whole book. I just wanted to show it since Mary's new, give her a chance to look over what we've done. That would be cool. Used to be Standard Photo Service at that box. I wonder who owns it now. Okay, so let's go back here to that tag that's unfinished. Oh, and I didn't show this. I think I might have, sometimes the pages, oh, yeah. And then there's this big tag in here. So one of our theories is, one of our MOs is go places where there's sky watch, where people have telescopes out, places where people go to sky watch because they're watching the sky. It's a good time to nab somebody or do a quick in and out kill. That's the theory anyway. So it's our hunting ground per se. Let's get you in there. Okay. And then these are mangrove murders. That's the mangrove murders. I missed that page. Okay. But we had an unfinished tag back here. It's all the way back here. This tag. Let's work on this for right now. So I'm going to move the whole book out of the way and we'll work on this tag. Yes. We have a picture of that somewhere in the book, I think. I think one of these tags has a picture of the, and there's a campground in New Mexico as well that's well known for good sky watching. Regular Waffle House after dark. Janice, it's true. Waffle House, not a safe place, generally speaking. Okay. So we're going to add more stuff on here. So we've got to start here with the earring and everything. And this is for the back. I wanted to add this onto here. A couple more layers. I want to add her. And then we need a couple other things. Because this was a fun bit of tissue paper that I had. And I got to put this clippy on there because my fan is on and it's blowing things around. Telescope scope. That sniper we had around DC shot folks at a distance. Yeah, because he wasn't a up close, hands on killer. So they had to go back and figure out where the shots came from and see if there were security camera footage. And I have a feeling Adria kind of has her hands full right now. Okay. So maybe we'll include some of this. I've been wanting to use that for a while. So we need a little bit more than this. I'm just looking through my stash of goodies here. And fairs. I think traveling fairs are a good way to find victims. I decided on a few things not that long ago that I'm like, we need to include these things. Let's see here. What kind of goodies do we have in the box? So we stay busy by killing people that do shitty things. That is our theory. Okay. Where is this map to? Okay, so that side is in New York. I like that image. Do 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 da do da. So, what? I just ate a sandwich to tide me over. You guys had any yummy food today? You know, we always got to talk a little bit about food. Food is the thing. Let's see. Nothing of that's going to work. And then I found a couple of things while I was cleaning today that if we have enough time, we'll work on them. We're not doing a super long, so I was talking about, I'm not sure what's in there. Let's see what's in there. My serial killer for the day is an 8-year-old boy out of India. So I was trying to look for something a little bit different. That could be a thing. Who killed 3 other kids. So he qualifies as a serial killer. And it's an interesting case. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It happened in the 2000s. Let's see what we're looking at here. So his name was Amarjit Sada, 8-year-old, youngest serial killer in history. That's, so far. And he's in Bahir, India. That's not the name of the village. That's just the region he's in. And he was part of a very large family. Norcross, Georgia. I think it was, let's see. Adria, they are. There's one who snipped. Yes, out of the, which made catching him even harder. And they had an episode of Criminal Minds based on that. Well, I was looking up something else, and it came up in the search results. And I'm like, well, there are cases of children, and I think sometimes they're classified as accidents because nobody wants to believe that a child is a serial killer. But there is some pathology that does match up with that. Sorry, you guys know I get thirsty. All the yappy flappy. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is, I think that would be fine if we put this behind this. But I think we'll get, I didn't bring any paper towels and I suck. I need a couple of paper towels. I want to kind of mix media that a little bit. I want to grunge it up a bit. So let's get a couple of paper towels here just so that I don't get this piece of paper that's on here like soaking wet. Not that it would be a big deal. It was all of 24 cents. I don't get a lot of time on the TV out in the living room. Most of what I watch is on my computer. So I'm not watching like the ID channel or anything. I'd like to be better at it. So you're probably more up on current stuff, true crime wise, but I do like the genre a lot. You think it was all? I think it was a blue car too. So let me grab some. Let's start with maybe some white paint. Ooh, and guess what? We were live on Friday. Was it Friday? And we were jelly printing. And I was that roasted pecan. I'm sorry. Roasted pecan. I found some more when we went to Michael's for something. We went out to get me paper. And then we wound up all over the place because Els had tingles. And yes, I do mostly do stuff with my hands. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. I'm really mushing it in there. I do not want totally even coverage though. And I don't want a lot glopped in there because I'm going to add some other stuff. Where was I? I forgot what I was saying. That's not hard to happen. Let me look at the chat here. I have enough school bus for now, although the next time we're at the dollar store, I'm going to buy another one. I got another one of the roasted pecan, and I got an extra light pistachio because the bottle we have is like down to here. I love this super light green color. It is, let me show it this way. I love this color a lot. Yeah, it is not roasted pecan. It lies. It is, in fact, burnt sienna in disguise. It lies. It lies a lot. So let's just... So, you know what? I think I'm actually going to put a little bit of that. If I can find it. I don't want to open the new one. We're going to go with whatever I can find out of the top area here. Hold, please. I think all the small paints are at the bottom. Phooey. Okay, hold on. I got to move some things around. Just real quick. All right, let's get down here and... Oh, here's that cool blue. Blue Echo, it says. Let's see what we get. It's a very gray blue, I think. Yeah. Now we're going to have to move that around all over the place. We're just looking for some grunge. And then we're going to work it out onto the paper towel again. And that might be a little bit much. Let's pull some of that back. And I just really want that right here in that spot. Okay, and then I'm going to let this dry a little bit while I tell you some more stuff. So yeah, we were at, and then remind me when I'm done saying this, I have one of those coincidences that if you tried to make it work, it would never work. You'd never find the complementary thing. It's like Payne's Gray. I don't, they call it sorry. Blue Echo from Folk Art. I'm sure it's meant to be a Payne's Gray, but they probably can't say that. But it's pretty nice. We're going to add more stuff over. I'm going to find that open bottle of pistachio. And if I'm lucky, maybe I'll find my olive green. Although I think the olive green might be on the paint rack, which I've got to get rid of. Yeah, Craft Smart's nice. It does cover good, and the price is really good. Can you guys believe I made that stupid sugar mistake 3 times? Good Lord. Let's see. I'm looking for the. I don't want to have to pull it out from under here because that's a pita. It's underneath my desk where I'm sitting. I'm doing it. That was maybe not a good idea one-handed. Whoa! Okay. Please don't be sugar paint. Artist pigment. Ochre yellow. That might be fun. Let's see. I've got olive green. Oh, no. Nope, that's my palette. Thought I found it. Totally knows. Got an olive green. Nope. See it there. Watch, I'll open it, and then the new one, and then I'll immediately find the old one. That's not it. Hold, please. I'm so sorry. Okay, nope. That's it. We're opening the new one. I only have so much looking around in me. Okay, so. Yes, I put them in a separate bit. I put them in the naughty drawer. Is wet watery. No, the sugar paint is like a sugar scrub. It's meant to be a textural element in mixed media, and I didn't realize that's what it was. I thought it was just like maybe it was a thicker paint, like a texture paint. I didn't literally know they meant it felt like sugar. Ochre, yeah. Yes, I think so. I just wanted to look a little grungy, but I'm also smushing down the cardboard a little bit. So back to MRG. So he's from a really big family. So they live in this village, and a large component of the village is this one family, this extended family, the Sadas. So it's like a bunch of siblings living close to each other, and their children all play together. And so the one of the videos I watched described it as because the parents are poor in this story. They're manual laborers and stuff like that. So not a lot of joy in their life, not a lot of possessions. They're not going shopping and doing all this. It's a simple country. It's a rural country life, kind of hand to mouth, with really big families. And birth control is kind of frowned upon in India, kind of the Arkansas of India. And then other families live there, but like one of the murder victims was a 6-month-old, and it had the same the baby had the same last name as the Sada family, but she was not considered a part of that family. So I don't know if she was married and divorced, or she was a very distant relation where she wasn't because that's what finally got him caught, was he got in trouble outside of his own family. But they're saying all the children played together. They were rambunctious and they had fun games. And so part of the joy of being in the village was you had all these kids, and kids can be a lot of them. Yeah, if you're living hand to mouth, that's a lot of people to feed. Amjit's first victim, what happened in 2006 when he was 7 years old. He killed his 6-year-old cousin. And I'm going to wait for a minute to tell you the details of all the murders, like how he actually killed them. It was a female cousin, and she just disappeared one day. This is how it appeared to the rest of the village. Unbeknownst to them, he had done it and then confessed to his parents that he did it, and he was very proud of it. And he took them to see the body where he had buried it. And the family kind of covered it up. And I think I think that's an instinct in a lot of parents and larger families is, oh my God, it had to have been an accident. But trust me, this was not an accident. Um, so she went missing in the village's eyes, kind of. Um, and a little while later, his second victim was his own younger sister. So I guess he had maybe been the youngest or the second oldest of the, he was no longer the baby. And I think this was like he had a younger sister and then they had the baby and they were already having trouble feeding everybody. Um, so she wasn't that old and he murdered her and the family treated it like she disappeared one day. So what he did was he took her out of the house to a more isolated area, and he strangled her, and then he beat her with a brick. And then his third victim was not that much longer after that. The mom had put the baby, she had to go out shopping. And so she put the baby in they said it's like a school, but I think there it's kind of like a daycare thing, a community where maybe there is a kindergarten class there, but this was an infant, the 6-month-old. Who needs enemies in that family, right? Well, we're going to talk about some of the cultural things for why this. I can see why it would happen in a regular family if the parents really, really believed that maybe, you've got siblings 2 years apart and something happens. You might believe it was an accident, but this kid he no remorse. He was proud of what he did. So the third victim was outside of the family, was a baby. I didn't write down the name because it makes me sad and I don't want to personalize it too much. And this is the one he got caught for. The baby was left at the school, and we'll use air quotes for the school. And so there were, there's children playing, there's children everywhere. Apparently he was able to go in there and pick up the baby and walk away with her to an isolated area. And once again, he strangled her. And I guess with this one, because it was such a young baby, it just made the baby cry more instead of getting the fear response that he wanted. And so I think almost immediately he had started again with the brick, and then he didn't even try that hard to bury the body, but he took it to. And so for a little while, the girl was missing. But somebody in the village, I guess, I can't believe in a small village they didn't kind of have an idea of who was maybe not the good kid. But somebody went to the police and said, look. And so the police came in and they questioned him, and he immediately confessed that he did it. He said he took her and he strangled her and he took him to the spot where the body was. Because initially I think they kind of like, oh, he's just trying to get attention and stuff like that. But he was adamant, and then he took them to the body and he described in detail. And this is when it came up about the other victims in his own family. So he killed 3 young from 7 years and younger. His 6 years and younger. All in the same way. All girls. So, he was eventually, so here's the thing. This is how I know he doesn't have any remorse. And we are talking about a kid, so maybe the impact of what he's done, he's not emotionally mature enough to understand it. But a psychologist did interviews with him and said he was actually a sadist, and he derived pleasure from inflicting injury on others. So probably the older victims were more satisfying to him, simply because he could elicit pain response by strangling them. and then easing up, and then when he was done having fun, he would just beat him over the head with a brick. Um, and this is horrible, and I know that I'm describing to you something that's gross, and a lot of you are mothers and grandmothers. I just find it fascinating because it's a child doing this. And he just matter of factly, like he didn't sugarcoat it. He didn't. Um, so I watched a couple of videos, and I'll share a link with you if you guys want to watch the video. I don't think the guy that's talking is relaying it. I think he's reading some into it, and he's kind of smoothing some edges. But there's a comment inside of the comments for that videos from somebody who lives in the area and said that, oh, they knew he was not a good kid. And so what happened was he was put in a children's home, which is, basically a juvenile facility. They call it a children's home there, until he turned 18. He was released in 2016. 90% of the, he was released in 2016 when he turned 18, given a new identity. Today, he would be 26 years old. In 2004, he would be 26 years old. His whereabouts are unknown, although the comments lead me to believe that people locally have kind of kept track of him. Because he was too young to go to jail, and even in the United States, children that are too young to stand trial are released when they're 18, and their records are usually expunged. So I think it's important to consider the background here. The parents were poor. The mother may have been home, but she had other children as well. And I think it's like a community to raise a child kind of thing. All of the children were kind of all over the place. And I think whatever mothers were about were trying to keep track of a lot of children. He was alone a lot of the time. He didn't always take part in the games the children played. There were some of the things said that he would be climbing trees or just be out by himself for a lot of the time. So he was not a fitter-inner. But he wasn't so weird that the other kids wouldn't play with him either. So they were looking at, because the family's poor, that it's possible he was abused when he was younger, and that some of his behavior derives from that. But there's nothing to substantiate that. But he derived pleasure from his acts and showed absolutely no remorse. I think partially a cultural aspect can be ascribed to this, as in some African countries and other Middle Eastern countries. I don't know why I took this out. Oh, ochre yellow. Boy children are often preferred. So, and that may be part of the reason the family covered up what he did. But also, this is a large family living together in one village, probably the most predominant family. Boy, that's thick. Some of that may have been a saving face kind of thing for the family. They would have lost respect. They would have lost some of their social standing in the village. Adria. I doubt he's interested in old white ladies crafting. I don't know if I'm liking. I'm going to spray this in a minute and kind of mix it all together. Let me see about mixing some of this here and a little bit over here. And then let's go along the edges some here. So culturally, that may be partially because he was a boy, because they would lose some of their social standing, because, murder's a big deal. Ooh, that's a little too much. because apparently, and I think I already knew this, little girls are not as valued. And this family had a predominance of girls. There were more girls than boys. From based on some of the things I read. Now I don't know for sure. It was hard to find news articles about it, and so I watched several videos. And usually the videos will sensationalize or even pass on bad information. Um, but I think he thought in some way. Um, it doesn't appear he was emotionally ill, like not. I think he knew right from wrong. Well, I don't know if he knew right from wrong because he was proud of what he did, but I think he thought in some way, he probably heard adults talking about, oh, we have all these girls, we have all these mouths to feed, and he may have thought he was helping his family by taking out these girls who are undervalued, as a thing to be proud of. I have helped my family. I have, taken away some of their burden for feeding all these people. But that's not in any of the, like, I couldn't find any in the interview, because there's a little bit of footage out there of his interview. But he's in that interview, and he refused to answer any questions until they gave him biscuits. And in the event that biscuits in England and India are cookies. It's cookies. So he wanted treats before he would talk to them. I think I'm going to add a little black to this. That would be a little effed up. But bully for his creativity. My serial killer's all about killing people who are doing shitty things in the world. But the reality is, most serial killers, they derive pleasure from what they do. It's a sexual release for some of them. Sometimes it's a religious or moral reason that they're killing. And in his own way, he may have truly felt like he was helping his family. And so he went to jail from the time he was 8 years old until he was 18, for 10 years. We can hope that he got some therapy. I would be very interested to see if at some point he doesn't get arrested. Although he has a new identity. But I'm going to put in a link for one of the videos I watched. If you read down in the comments, there's a lady on here that says he changed his name. And she says that the order the videos put them in is not quite correct. But the first two victims were from his own family, and that's how he got away with it. But they were also talking about the cultural thing, about how girl babies are not as valued as boy babies. And so he was old enough to have picked on, how sometimes people will sit around bitching, God, we got all these mouths to feed. And maybe it was like, why do we have so many girls, and maybe they're not going to be able to support the parents in old age, or whatever is the reasoning. I don't know a lot about India culturally, other than they have still, even to this day, it's been publicly done away with, but they still have a caste system there. That is the video I watched about this killer. And the video is interesting, but we remember to take it all with a grain of salt. He's kind of sugarcoating and glossing over and maybe embellishing a little bit based on what I read in a couple of articles. But the core of it's there, and I think the comments are very interesting if you care to have a look at it, after the live or whenever. I don't know how many serials keep diaries or journals or records of their crimes. Probably it's not a good idea to do that sort of thing. But I know that there are some that do, or did. And a lot of them keep trophies or keepsakes. I'm going to try to put in a little bit more of this ochre. I can get a little bit off the super thick. Okay, so we'll put a little bit right there. And then I want some right in here. So that is that's the story I have to tell. And I was hoping it would spark some discussion. Now I will put out there, there are some movies based, I don't know that they're based on true stories, but they're Kid Gone Wrong stories. There's The Bad Seed from 1956, and there are other versions of it in different years. The Good Son in 1993, and more recently, The Orphan, which was about a girl that was adopted who was actually an adult, but she had homicidal tendencies. Criminal Minds did a score of serial killer kid episodes. Notably, season 2, episode 28. The kid Jeffrey, the red-haired kid who was killing his classmates. Season 4, episode 21, Shades of Grey, the older brother who kills his younger brother. But there are a lot of others. Let me go over here. I pulled up this thread on Reddit, and they describe some of the episodes that involve it. But I remember, the one I remember most is a teenage boy who goes to read because he's having homicidal impulses and kind of rape fantasies. And there's several episodes, and I felt they were very poignant and disturbing and heartbreaking because the mother, you know, I think those ones are, I can't remember what season it was in. Let's see. There was a teenage girl that framed her dad and kills her sister. Like, so if you're familiar with or you haven't seen, a lot of the Criminal Minds episodes and other crime shows like that they rip pages from the headlines for their episodes. So they deal with sometimes new stuff, but they mine for older stuff. And so if you want to take a look at the Reddit feed on Criminal Minds episodes, that's that. So yeah, and I only looked at Criminal Minds because that's the most recent one I've watched, but I know CSI has done it, all the CSIs, somewhat in NCIS, although you see less child, child as the perpetrator, obviously on something like NCIS. So, but you can see all types of serial killers, and if you do a little bit of poking around based on just the bare facts, you can usually find a case that's related to that, or several, where they pulled elements from several cases to create a kind of more unique serial killer kind of thing. Okay, well, this is drying a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and glue down our tissue paper. So what did you guys think? Too boring? I know I'm not as good a storyteller as Els, but it's horrifying because he's a child himself and getting pleasure from hurting people, but taking out other small children. And that's Els described a couple of killers that were like that too. In some of the earlier ones. There is, if anybody's interested and hasn't, if you're watching this later, there's a playlist on my channel with a link over to Elsa's channel. We used to do this together as a kind of co-hosting thing. So it'd be on my channel one week, and there aren't whole ton of episodes, but her knee went out, and so she's taking a break. I don't know about great, but I'm glad you guys found it interesting. So what do you guys think? I know that children typically get out at 18, but and he was so young, but I find it hard to believe, even in an institution, that he might say all the right words, but I don't know if somebody who at that young an age already has no remorse. He was proud of what he did. He thought he was doing the right thing. I don't know for sure that he thought he was helping his family, but there's a chance that he thought that's what he was doing. And I don't know that you can reform somebody who he's probably a sociopath. So he doesn't see what he's doing is wrong. And I don't know if you can reprogram something that doesn't exist. He doesn't feel remorse, pain, sympathy, anything for his victims. He enjoyed inflicting the pain. He did not care that he was taking away somebody's child. He may have just seen it as, now my place in the family is better and I've helped my family out. Or it was just simply an act of joy for him in doing it and getting away with it, even if it was just for a little while. I think so too. And that's what a lot of people said in the thread for that first link, is they're like, I can't believe they changed his identity and just let him out into the world. But the theory is what you did as a child shouldn't follow you into adulthood. And they do it here too. They don't necessarily give away new identities, but they do expunge young people's records so that it doesn't say follow you to college or into your 40s if you publicly exposed yourself when you were 14. But somebody who urinated in public when they were 14 doesn't necessarily need to be followed for the rest of his life, whereas somebody who strangled a child probably does. That should be lifelong patrol. Patrol. I've lost the word, guys. When you have to go check in. What? It's a P word. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think that's, you can reform somebody who doesn't think what they're doing is wrong. He may be able to parrot back to them parole. There you go. I think that should be some lifelong form of parole, or like the sex offenders registry, which doesn't work as well as it should because there's a lot of people on it. You know, he was 18, she was 16, the parents were pissed off. And public exposure, not necessarily, ooh, I'm the guy in the trench coat, but people urinating in public can make it onto that list. But in some way, he should be having an eye kept on him, because at a young age, under 10, no remorse, no care, no worries, no guilt, no shame. And that no shame after the first one, and certainly after the second, may have empowered him to go out into the community and try and see if he could, maybe not necessarily get away with it, but it may have made him think, I can get away with it because my family's going to cover this up. And I like doing it. And I think I'm helping the village by doing this, you know? And he may have been surprised that he wound up at the police station, and then surprised that he wound up in what amounts to an institution for the rest of his childhood, essentially. And who was he in there with? Other criminals. So of having no remorse already, this could have made him find out ways to get away with it better, to become a more well-trained murderer or criminal in general, you know? Because I can't imagine a children's home in India is on the quality of what we might be thinking. And even juvenile facilities here, in some ways, tend to... I need something to layer over here. I think I'm maybe not going to lay that down just yet. I need something else to layer in there. What do I got? Yeah, I think it was a chance to just become a better killer, honestly. I am terrified for people that live around that young man, because now he's a prime age. He was a cute kid, although some of the pictures of him kind of they've chosen ones that make him look a little creepy. But one of the comments in the comment thread said the people in the village were actually a little scared of him. So, but I read the comments with a thread of salt too, because that could just be somebody in there making shit up to get attention. These things do happen. I'm looking for something in the bucket here. What do I want to add on to that? Oh, you know what? I've got a little bit of a jelly print. What do I do with that stuff? Where did that go? Oh, please, because I had a little pile of stuff that was for the serial killer journal. That's not it. Oh, I see it over here. I put something on top of it. This is why I lose things all the time. Piles on piles. Okay. But I did pull out a couple of jelly prints that I liked for the serial killer. Oh, and I found this tag I keep losing this tag all over the place. And this tag, I found this tag again. This one we were working on, the girl in the white dress. I think we've got another girl in the bucket that will work for. So I picked out this red jelly plate and some new victim pictures. Woo! We'll do with those next time, probably. I think this one, I want to layer that one in. And then we can talk about these maps. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. Although I'm not a super huge fan of, child crime. That stuff is heartbreaking. I love this. I love this jelly print. It's making me happy. So let's see about, we probably want to rip it right about there. But something like that. So let's get some paint on the edge here. I think I'm going to use some of this ochre color. According to the comment stream, he's still, as of a few years ago, living in India. I can't imagine him being able to, even with the changed identity, I would hope they would mark him as not being able to just uproot himself entirely and subject himself on people that have no idea of his background, So I'm just kind of inking the edge with this burnt umber because I don't have an ink color this color. And not burnt umber, but ochre yellow. It's a nice color. It's a nice kind of grungy, gross color. And then I'm going to grab a tiny bit of that black and do a little bit of that. Not a lot, just a little. Oops, that's kind of a lot. Nope. And a little bit. Okay. So I think I'm going to put that kind of right in there and layer that. This needs a little something more on the top there. But that would be his ideal, right? Just flat out move out of India, whole new victim pool that knows nothing really about him. Presumably that wouldn't follow him if he tried to immigrate or anything. So theoretically, yeah, he could totally be in the United States or UK or really anywhere. Okay, so I'm gonna add that in there. Let's get the glue. So it'll be something like that. And sometimes we're going to deal with haunted stuff. We're not always going to do strictly serial killer. We could look at individual cases of murder, interesting ones, because if we do too much kid murder, we're all going to get depressed and not want to come to the live stream anymore. I have a psychology degree, so for me, a lot of this is I'm interested in why people do the things they do, Why do they choose? What motivates this behavior? Is it nature or nurture? Is it a combination? That goes in my scrappy pack. Yeah, he could be, Carla. So I'm always looking at the why. That's why I'm giving out the cultural information, and why I'm talking about why families might not report a murder. And in some place like that, kids can disappear, and people go, well, I wonder what happened to the Simpsons boy or the Smith girl. And then, next thing you know, 5 missing girls later, they're like, well, how did everybody not know this guy was a serial killer? He's not David with Microsoft, right? We're going to ink the edges of this one. Okay. This is a prime spot for a keepsake. And then maybe we need a little map down here. The other side is New York. And I do have some map fragments in my bucket of stuff. Oh, and I've got to show you the thing that... Where are my map fragments? I know they're not that far back. Let's see, what are we looking at here? Oops. I'm looking for any place with so Columbia, South Carolina is not necessarily the beach, but what if we were near there? So let's tear off some of this here. Let's see. Baltimore. Okay, what if we... I'm gonna try folding this. See if we can't work it in somehow. Oh, I gotta think about this. Okay, what if we did that? I'm gonna move this out of the way. What if we did that? Because there's a lot of cities on, there's several cities on here, I won't say a lot, where you could have easy access to the beach or water. Myrtle Beach, yeah. And there's Baltimore in here, and that's near the Chesapeake Bay, you know. We already decided that our person knows how to fly up. Our serial killer, who is theoretically me in an alternate lifetime and younger. Because I don't think I want to be disposing of bodies as an older person. Okay, that's as far down as I can cut that. And we can't really let it hang too far off the tag. Okay. Let me grab some ink. Ink-a-dink-a-doo. This one, I think. They have only 201K subscribers. Okay. I'll check it out. You think he's got a low number of subscribers? Dr. Gary. Okay. I write it down in my notebook. Later I'll be like, what did she tell me? I am infamous for that. Dr. Gray. YouTube. So I'm not always... So I am interested in what they do, but I'm equally interested in why they might be doing it. For serial killers, sometimes there's no reason. They just felt like it. And in that way, they're a little bit like toddlers. Why'd you push that fire extinguisher? And then they just go, I don't know, and they burst into tears because they can't. You're not mature enough to know that it's okay to say, I don't know why I did that. And sometimes parents won't take that as a reason either, but that's besides the point. Sometimes they don't know why they do the things they do. It was just an urge. What happens if that's that curiosity. So sometimes there's no reason other than I felt like it in the moment, and I don't have that filter that says, oh, that's probably not the right thing to do on the interview room. He only talks about the white. Oh, that's cool. Okay. I'll give it a shot. The interview room. Okay. I'll have to check it out before the next time we come on and let you know what I thought. Okay, I'm not going to ink the edges here because I think that's going to impede us pulling this out. Do I want to put a little tabby right there as a pulley thing? Do I want to do it? Do I? I don't know. Okay, so we're going to put that probably at the very bottom. And then I think I kind of like how this fell out. So I think we're going to do that like that. So that's going to be what the tag looks like on this side. And then we can pull that out. And then before I put it on here, we'll circle some places with our red pen. Oh, thank you, Carla. I'll open that up for later. Carla with all the links. Yay! And how's Noodles and Coley and Pinky? I'm waiting for it to come up. Because some sites they play sounds. Okay, so I'll have to check out some of the content. Coolio. I like it. You use your blue panties for good. Well, we like it when you use them for good or for evil. We're good either way. We love good Carla and evil Carla because they're kind of the same Carla. All Carlas are good Carlas. Mostly. Okay. I'm not saying you're potentially not a good Carla, but I have met some questionable Carlas out there. Okay, so we're going to put a red dot by Baltimore. And there's Baton Rouge, Louisiana on here. We got Charlotte and Charleston. We got Columbia, South Carolina. Dallas is not near the water, I don't think. Bakersfield, Beaumont, Billings, Birmingham, Boise. Some of these I don't know what water access would look like. So we'll just do those three. And then we'll tick them off over here as well. Here's Baltimore and Baton Rouge. Brownsville, Buffalo. There is South Carolina. There's Columbia. Oh, Erie, Pennsylvania. We're going to put one there. That's probably farther down that way than it's on here. Okay. And we'll put one here. Okay. There we go. And I'm sitting here looking for the lid to the pen. It's on the back of the pen, guys. Beaumont, Texas would be less than 30 minutes. That's good to know. Pulling out the red pen. Let's see. Right here. That's that one. Let's go over here. Right here. All right. Dallas is 4 hours from me, Galveston. I've been to the Dallas area. Okay, so we're going to glue this on and then we'll glue those on. I'm liking it. It's coming together like a good plan on the A-team. They're close to shipping channel. That's good, right? Okay, let's first we got to get the glue to come down. Come on, glue. There we go. I bought, oh, that's the other thing I bought when we were at the glue. That's actually why we went in. Snobby wasn't open, so we went to Michael's and Joann's. Oh my gosh, that reminds me. I got to show you that thing at Joann's. I found something at Joann's, and then I'm going to show you a thing that Els found and gave me something of. And they oddly go together in an unintentional way. Like, I didn't start out thinking this is the journal I need to make, but now I do. Okay, I'm not going to let that quite glue down right there yet. I need this crappy piece of, so I'm going to glue these down, and then I'm going to have it angled a little bit like that. I like the way that's looking. Yay, Carla, for the win on extra information. We are all about the sharing. Sharing is good. So I had a ham sandwich. I am craving a baked potato like nobody's business. And I can let it hang off a little bit. That would be okay. Because it's just going in a pocket. Look, those are those romper things. I call them coochie crawlers. I'm not shaped right for that, and I never have been in my whole life. I haven't always been fat, but I don't like anything that rides up and makes you think, why did I do this to myself? Els, on the other hand, loves rompers. I don't get it, but, you know, different strokes for different folks. That's all I can say about that. Because it might not be for me, but I would not disparage somebody else's clothing preferences. It's not my jam. You wear whatever makes you comfortable. Using pearl or beads. Wait. Oh, you found a YouTube video that's stuck in your head. Cool. Oh my God. Did I share it with you guys? Did I share it on my channel or into the group? I found an image in one of those like haunted, creepy groups I belong to. Oh, for the love of God. I'm sorry, guys. I got to remember to leave this on its side. You know those little wooden coffin things you can get like at the dollar store with the lid on them in the fall? I got to buy like 5 or 6 of those. Somebody had done up a little mini haunted house. Like they used the cover part, the hinge part that flips up, and built a little tiny house in there, divided it up into sections. It was very shallow in terms of depth. And then in the bigger bottom part, they had built a little park, and they had little ghosties sitting on the bench and in a chair in the house. You're long-waisted, or those are too? I'm short in the chest area. Well, I'm short everywhere. I'm a short person, but I'm a messy girl. This is what's happening right here. So I like that so far. We need some kind of doodah. Do we need a doodah? I love a good doodah. Or a piece of fabric. A piece of fabric would be okay. Oh, speaking of pieces of fabric, Jesus, my train of thought. And this is me. I am sorry, but I am like a squirrel on crack. I have a lot of things to get done. So, you're too long-waisted. First of all, at my age now, I'm kind of I think an apple shape. Like I got a muffin top. I got a big old muffin top, but I got muffin under the top. You know. You saw the minute. I want to do something like that. Wasn't that cute as hell? Okay, so I found this fabric, and I bought a whole yard of it because that's what they had. It was in remnants. It was like $9 for a whole yard, which isn't bad. But what do you think? I love this fabric. I'm in love with it. You're PVC shaped. Oh, wow. That is long-waisted. I don't like overalls. Same thing. It's all attached. I got to get partially undressed to go to the bathroom, like more than half my clothes. No fruit shape here. That's probably better. I don't like being round because I am a round, like in the middle, I'm round. I have a feeling I'm coming off as a one of those Weebles people. So I got this fabric, and it is dark gray and purple, and this is almost black here. Goes all the way down to like a lavender color, and it looks like, I get the feeling of silver, although I think it's gray. But then this happened. This I got at Joann's. The next stop after Joann's was Savers. Francis! So I'm in love with this fabric 100%. I don't know what I'm going to do with an entire yard, but I had to have it. So then we went to Savers and Beelzebub got a whole bag. Don't tell her I told you. Act surprised tomorrow. Of Disney postcards. Ooh, thanks, Carla. I do want to see that. How are you doing, Miss Francis? I hope you're doing okay. I love you. Give me a second. I'm just getting this video so that I can, to a place where I can pause it. Oh, that's cute. Oh my God. Okay, shut off. I'll be here watching it while I'm talking to you. I am in Las Vegas, Nevada. Did somebody ask me and I didn't see it? Okay, so long story short, how perfect is this? Who's my favorite Disney villain? Isn't it a perfect match? If I had this postcard and I went to the store looking for fabric, I would never in a million years pick this. But I had this fabric, and then she handed me these postcards. And I was like, holy shit. Now I have to do a Yzma journal, don't I? Don't I? Who's going to go get some kids' books? It's me. After I send out all my bills, get some money. Somebody's bank account is empty. Oh, yeah, I know what hot is, girl. We actually do have some good thrift stores. But I think East Coast has the best thrift stores. I got to be honest. But there's a lot of retirees here. So we find some very interesting things. Don't we have to? Because I love this. This is the perfect Yzma colors. And it's not like a happy dappy fabric, and it's not a Disney themed fabric. I think this plays very well with her color scheme. She's my favorite Disney villain. Her and Ursula. Oh, I love me some Ursula. I couldn't talk else out of any of the Ursula postcards, though. I'll be stalking her sale when she sells them. I need me some Ursula. So, woohoo! So that's going to be coming up. I don't know when, though, because I got to go buy some Disney books with Yzma in them for pictures. And although I could just put her on the front and pick papers that go with her color scheme. Like it could be a writing journal. I don't have to do like a whole, because you know me, I like semi-naked journals. I don't like a full, normally I'm not a fully decorated journal person. I like it kind of as it happens. Ones here are very picked over. Northern Arizona. I lived in the Phoenix, Scottsdale area for until 6 years ago. I lived there for like total of about 18 years, but in 3 different sessions. So yeah, I got that fabric from the Remnants. Els found those, a whole bag of awesome. Prescott, nice. So we're almost done with our. You missed the story of the serial killer, the Indian 8-year-old serial killer. Francis. He was a bad, bad boy. So let's see how long we've been gone, because I don't want to make Mondays go too long. And then I'll be on tomorrow. Oh, an hour and a half. That's perfect. You've been here listening. Oh, nice. I'm going to shoot you a message after the live. I've lost my live stream. I lost my own live stream. But hugs to you. A lot of them are purple. Maleficent is purple. Her colors are purple and black. This month started a daily journal again. Woohoo! Yay! Anything for sorting is good. It's good to know you guys get stuff done. So we haven't quite finished this. I do like this. I haven't decided if maybe I want to put a little tag on there, some fabric, and then put a little something over here as a keepsake. I think I want to do those things. So we'll finish this up next time. And this is the other side. We've got a little yellow rose. We've got her earring. And that's our victim. And the map is, this is Albany, New York here. So she was murdered in New York. And we've got the 28th down here. So, fun. So I got to let that dry. But tomorrow is, what is tomorrow? Neighborhood of Teeny, guys. We're actually going to have a Neighborhood of Teeny on a Tuesday. I don't even know what day it is. So, do you guys remember when I said on the front cover, I want to put a map in that I can fold out and put all kinds of stuff on? I found 2 that might work. So there's this one, which I think might be a little long, but we could trim it down maybe. We could maybe take off the heart of our nation's capital off the top of that there. And then I found this one, which folds out. So I thought it would be possible to glue down like this, just this top panel into the journal. And then we could do up a bunch of stuff on it. I would do up the stuff before I would put it in the, and obviously we couldn't like bulk it up, but we even have 2 sides to choose from. We have, hold on. Now I've got all kinds of stuff up here. We have this side, and this is Oregon's Mount Hood territory, or this side. Oops. Obviously if we fold it up, we can put stuff on every side. Same map, just different stuffs. So I thought once it's done, so we wouldn't put anything on this panel because we're going to glue that panel down. But then we could have it so that you could have it look like that and then unfold it. What do you guys think? She's a hot mess. You think the folded one? Okay, so you think this one, even though it's the Washington, D.C.? Oh, okay. So first I left a flippy thing out. Oh my God. Yeah, I had something in the front and I just hated it. So I think we're going to cut these prongs out, as much as I hate to do that. Oops, wrong map. So if we cut off the capital, so we need to cut a little bit off the bottom at least, because we don't want it to be too big, and I don't want to cut like the entire top of the map off. So we cut a little off the top, a little off the bottom, and then when we pull it out, and then obviously we could even just hinge it here and have it where you could go all the way to the back side here and something back here. God forbid, a pocket. So you think this map is the best one? Okay. We'll save the other one for something else. If it was smaller, like I was really looking for something not quite this big. I was looking for something like maybe 11 by 14, more the size of like a legal size piece of paper. And I may find one yet for a future journal, but I think this one will work fine. Trimmed up a little bit. But I think we're going to cut the prongs off on there, on that side. Oh, murder. Do it yourself. It was on the floor. Sorry. Well, I am super happy for you journaling again. I only just started journaling again myself. But I did want to show you guys. Remember I talked a little while ago about I had put some darker paper in my personal journal. So let me move this off. So this is the map we'll choose, and I'll trim it down next time we're on. And I'm going to leave this tag here, obviously, to dry. We'll put these back in the serial killer book somewhere and get them back where they belong. Okay, so that's still drying. We'll put it over here. Put the red pen away or I won't be able to find it. So this is my personal journal. There did used to be a big picture of some eyeballs here. Oh, and where's the thing I wanted to test? I got some images the other day of those owls out of that National Geographic. Did I harvest that one by myself, or was that one I did? No, because I only did digital photography the other night. So there used to be a big picture of monster eyes up there, but Betty was in love with it, and so I made when I made her and Popo journals. So if I mounted this on something, I think I could get kind of the same effect. What do you guys think? It did used to be creepy monster eyes. And that's the natural cover. It was a music book. But I think that could work. So, but that's not the point I was trying to make. Sorry. I got sidetracked. My brain is on a track. So remember I put some really dark paper in here. Oh, too far. It's back some. Hold on. Oh, here we go. So this was I did a test run. The black pen didn't show up as well as I would have liked. So I did, this is a jelly roll pen, and I think a Posca pen or a silver pen, they have all kinds of pens that are good for dark paper. So I just did like little borders around it, and this is marks from holding, this was at the top of a batch, so that's like a pan lid that I used to hold the paper in. But I thought that came out really great with, so I may do a dark journal. There's nothing terrible in my journal, but I don't necessarily want everybody to read it. So I have this jelly roll pen, and I will tell you, I used up quite a bit of ink. I probably used up half the pen. However, this pen's been sitting in my room for the better part of a year. So I'm going to grab, next time we go to Blick or any place that has pens like this, I'm probably going to pick up another white one and maybe a silver one, at least one more white one. I probably could use two, because I think what I want to do is create a journal out of some of the dark paper. There's chalk markers that are white. Ooh, good idea. So, and then this is my mark. When I make my personal journals, I get these off of Etsy from a seller, the Groovy Girl. I know I'm creepy, but I'm also Bo Bunny. But I ripped it off of her because she was in love with it, and I love to share. And that's how much I love to share. I will destroy something I made to give it to somebody else. But I thought maybe I could just put maybe get some of that Tentative Dawn, and I can make a little border thing and then put this on there. And I love that. I think I like the owl eyes on there. Uniball sells them in multiples. That is good to know, Adria. So I wanted to share that. I wanted to show how good it looked. So if you, I know they're not as inexpensive as a regular pen, but it's very impactful. So if you were doing something like thankfuls or gratefuls or quotes, maybe You could get some really, I imagine, and some of them pink would, one of those pink, like gel pens would show up really well on some of the colors. I think you could make a very impactful journal with the dark papers using those different kinds of pens. And it was really fun for me. I enjoyed writing in the different colored pen. It was like, oh, this is fun. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. So I do journal. I love making these. You know what? Did I show you guys? I'm like off on that. We should be getting off of this live stream. I'm sorry, I'm keeping you guys later. Let me grab it. If I can remember where I put it. I got some. I love to upcycle things. That is one of my things I really like to hear. It is. Oh, that's not it. Oh, wishful thinking. Okay. I may just have to describe it to you. I just had it in my hand right before the live, too. That's like a death knell for me. I just had it in my hand. Okay, I can't find it. It's right there. I know it is. I'm just being too obtuse to see it right now. These music, like practice books and stuff, like this is a specific one from for organ arrangements, but they're all kind of the same size. So I take them, and they're usually larger than, because the music pages are big. So I put a little spine on it, and what I did was I took the middle of the book, and trying to find a good. And where the middle is, I went out a quarter, so it's a half an inch. I went out a quarter inch from each place in the middle and just made a spine. And then I put a piece of really light chipboard in there. Because I like bigger journals for my journaling. Some people like smaller ones because it doesn't seem intimidating. With Chrome looking, ooh, that sounds fun. Ooh. I don't know. I write really hard and I'm not a very neat writer. I don't know if a dip pen would be good for me, although I do want to get a dip pen. I saw a neat technique with it that I want to try. Also, I hear they're good for mark making. So I'm going to add that in. But you can see in my journal, I do add in, I put in pictures and just things I like, stickers. Let me find a spot where there's not writing. Some, like this is from Carla sent me this, and I put it in here. Here are some horror movie stickers. Someday I want to have my own, a place of my own, not necessarily a house, but a space to call my own. We put lots of trim in here. So, but I have two new ones that I think I showed them the other day, maybe. And I like to use a variety. I do like a thing called waterfall papers. Where all, look at that. That's, see, and that's a torn one. Let me see if I can find a spot where I've got like a waterfall effect. I know there's one at the front, so that means there has to be somewhere a corresponding one towards the back. And I've got a couple of pictures. Like I really like that picture and the quote. So these are ones I want to add. There's a couple of houses with blueprints. Cup of coffee. That's that girl from the, I love her in her dress with her pink teacup and her sneakers. So, oh, here, this is what I mean by waterfall. So where you've got 2 or 3 pages, usually it's 3, but because this was a dot matrix, I just put 1 to layer the papers. It's just fun. So that's all my things. Sorry, guys. My brain went down the rabbit hole, but I do think I'm going to add these owl eyes on. National Geographic. Woohoo! And I have a second one. I have the whole owl. That's off the front cover. So I hope to see you guys tomorrow night. If you're here for Neighborhood of Teeny, we're going to make a neighborhood for ourselves and add some more stuff to it. We are chugging right along with that one. And I think I have some new stuff to pull out of the magazines we harvested the other day and the ones I did a couple days before that. So tomorrow's Tuesday. Oh Jesus. So Tuesday is I'll probably be on between 5:15 and 5:30. So look for that if you guys are available. I hope to see you there. If not, I hope you have a great rest of your week. I'll be on after Rosemary's Lives on Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday, we will be doing something on Friday, guys. Unless else, I will caveat for Friday. We do have to go dashing one time between now and the 4th of June, or they shut off her dashing card and she still has some funds on it. But also, they'll put us back where we don't have preferred stuff, and that sucks. So this Friday, I may be going out dashing. I will let you know probably Wednesday or Thursday. So however you go, I can't get the calendar to come up. Oh, there it goes. Thanks, Mari. Yeah. So we basically have to go out sometime this weekend, no later than next Monday, to keep the dash card active, which is okay because I am in a better place die wise and where I need to be with my videos and the crafting, that I could do a couple of days a week maybe. So however you guys are spending your days and nights, I hope it brings you great joy and happiness. Each and every one of you absolutely deserves it. You bring a lot of joy into my life, and I hope I give a little bit back to you. Until I see you in one of my lives or in a box somewhere, I wish you guys the happiest of crafting. Bye, 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 bye. And that is the end. Welcome again to, oh God, I've lost my mind, to Mary. And I hope that you enjoyed the live, and I hope that you have a great rest of your week. All of you ladies, the end. Push the button. I'm going to push that button. See you tomorrow if you're available.